Is there any place you would rather be than at a Trump rally? Got a lot of rich people here, my friend. You got a lot of, oh, Steve, hi, Steve. We got a lot of rich people here, a lot of money in this first row. A lot of money. I built the best economy in history, and now we're going to do it again. You know that hat? I see thousands and thousands of them. You know, we're getting 35, 40,000 people all the time. We get more, but they don't have any more room. How about this? You take an airport, right? You take an airport, you don't have enough room. Did you ever think of that one? We have an airport, we don't have enough room. This is amazing. There's never been anything like this has ever happened in the history of politics. Probably in any other history. And I don't have a guitar. You know, the truth is, oh, it's true. They don't get crowds like this. Nobody gets crowds like this. You know what gets crowds like this? Making America great again. That's what gets crowds like this. The only thing that's going to get a crowd like this. And you know, Sleepy Joe had a rally today. They had 12 people in those little circles. He's got those little crazy circles. The only thing good about his campaign, the guy that does the work. I'm a perfectionist. They're so beautiful, nice and wide. And they can't fill them up, so they get the media. Could you please take a circle? And now he's got President Barack Hussein Obama comes out. President Obama. You know, the Democrats never talk about it. You know that federal judgeships are like the biggest deal. Then you have Supreme Court justices. Barack Obama left me 142 federal judgeships. Nothing like that's ever happened. Nothing. Very rarely does it, you know, when you're a president, you leave, every one of them is filled. Those are the most important things you can have. Federal judgeships, lifetime appointments. It's such a big deal. He left me 142. And we are going to have, listen to this, we are going to have, in my first term, record-breaking, approximately 300 federal judges. It's a very big percentage of the whole federal bench. And we are going to have, we just put a great one on, Amy, 3 Supreme Court justices. And whatever happened with Biden? He was going to say, you know, is he going to pack the court? He just keeps tapping. Maybe he's smarter than we think. Keeps tapping it along. And who are the people he's going to put on? He was supposed to say who he's put. You cannot vote for him if he doesn't tell you about packing the court. Therefore, is anybody in this audience going to vote for Sleepy Joe Biden? I can't imagine anyone having the courage. I can't believe, look at those people. They go, does anybody have the courage to even raise your hand? That wouldn't be a very good thing to do. Who is going to vote on election day for President Trump? Who has already voted? Has anybody here, seriously, we don't mind, it's not going to matter. Not going to matter. Has anybody voted with all those people that have already voted? We have a lot of votes going out. And I think we're leading, can you believe, in early voting? But has anybody, oh, that's a shock. Oh, that's the big story. They're saying we have to get more people out. Maybe I shouldn't say that, people are watching. No, we're doing good. No, but anybody here vote for Sleepy Joe Biden? Okay, good. I believe you. I believe you. This election is a choice between a crippling depression or a historic boom. It is, you have a depression. All that money, all those 401ks, they're going to go right down the tubes, throw it out. It's a choice between a deadly Biden lockdown. He wants to lock down the country. I just left a country. I just left a state that locked down. I left 2 of them, and they're not happy about it, I'll tell you right now. You know what's going to happen to them? On November 4th, the day after, they're going to say, all right, we'll open up now. That's why they're locking down. But we're going to have a safe vaccine that ends the pandemic. Without it, it's rounding the turn. I say it drives them crazy. It's rounding the turn. Because all they want to do, you turn on the news, COVID, 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 COVID. Would like to talk about COVID, and then next time. Here's what happens, November 4th. You won't hear too much about it. You won't hear too much about it. Don't tell anybody, but let me wait till a little bit after the election. I appreciate the advice. I appreciate it. No, he's been wrong on a lot. He's a nice man, though. He's been wrong on a lot. Do not, under any circumstances, wear a mask, he said. Do not close up to China, he said. Then he said later on that President Trump saved tens of thousands of lives because I closed early. But how about this? How about Sleepy Joe? I closed and he calls me xenophobic. I said, give me a definition of that, Joe. Give me a definition. He didn't know. He had no idea what it meant. You know? 25 years ago, he was not smart. He was never considered smart. And now he's considered about half of that. This is not what you want for your president. We're doing too well. Our country's doing too well. We will mass distribute the vaccine in just a few weeks. We have all the vaccines. It's all set. Our military is going to deliver. We take care of our seniors first. Is it okay if we take care of our seniors first? You know, I got it. I knew you didn't hear this story, but I got it because I got better quickly. But I got it. The First Lady got it. And a very young, tall person, 14 years old, named Barron Trump got it. And I got better. They gave me something called Regeneron, but I'm sure I didn't need it because I am a perfect physical specimen and I'm very young. I'm very young. Perfect physical specimen. You know, I said that, a little sarcastically, and I said, oh, I actually think I am. No, I'm okay. No, I said that sarcastically. CNN, right over there with the red light, just went off. Anytime I mention them, that light goes off. We have to cut to a commercial. In one way, they need the ratings because they don't get good ratings. No, they hated it when I said it. They said he is not a perfect physical specimen. It's a disgrace. He's lying to the American public. And he is not young. He is not young. They went crazy. They went totally crazy. Oh, they went crazy. They spent 2 days on that one. Joe Biden. Well, he's very threatening all the time. He's so agitated, Did you see him today with the glasses, the whole deal, right? So you don't see the bad surgery. I put on those, what do they call them, aviators? But they're too small. They got to be bigger, right? The mirror, so you don't see anything going through it. Look good. No, he's very agitated, so angry. Everybody's screaming and shouting. He's like crazy. But he's a weak person, He challenged me. Do you remember a year and a half ago? Oh, I'd like to take him behind the barn. And I said, of all the people in the world that I could fight, that's probably the one I'd like to most fight. So those legs, they've gotten very thin. Not a lot of base. You wouldn't have to close You wouldn't have to close the fit. And by the way, he brings it up. You know, when he brings it up, the press is nothing. If I ever said I'd like to take him behind the barn and beat the crap out of him, you know what? They would say, our president is inciting evil. I'm inciting. Every time you shout, lock him up, or every time, did you see the cars today? All over the place. Cars, and trucks, and boats. All organic. It just forms. 5,000 boats. They have tractors in Iowa. Thousands and thousands of tractors in this massive farm. They came from all over farm country. They had the thing with these really, I'd say, very good people. They were riding along a highway, and you had Sleepy Joe's bus. So they escorted the bus, and the radical left said, oh, what a horrible thing that is to escort the bus. They don't tell you about Antifa that go around burning down your cities, Democrat run, only Democrat run. They don't talk about that, bopping people over the head, killing people, setting everything on fire. They don't tell you about that. They tell you about people that are driving down a highway with an American flag and a Trump flag, right? Don't worry, they'll be just fine. They're going to be just fine. If they're watching, I guess they were in Texas, right? Oh, Texas will be just fine. We're doing great in Texas, by the way. Really good. You know how, this is the greatest, you know, I've had really 6 of these because I had them, but let's say 5, okay? Do you know what it is to do 5 of these? I start early in the morning. Now think of it. Start early in the morning. But you know what's the nice part about this one? This is the last one of the day, so we can stay all night. All night. I was rushing. They said, you're going to be late for Florida, sir. I said, how much? About an hour and a half. Oh, that's not so bad. I hope everyone's having, I think, you know how many people we lost? I'd say 0. We actually gained. People heard about it. They said, let's go. No, it's great to be with you. It's great. Tomorrow I have 5 more. Can you imagine 5? 5 more. 5 more, and then, you know, normally they say 5 more and let's crash. But I don't know if I can crash. I think it's going to be a very exciting day. Tuesday is going to be a very exciting day. Make sure you get out. Tuesday is going to be a very exciting day. The most exciting day in the history of television was 4 years ago, right? No, but it is nice. We can take our time. I can tell you stories about some of the things that happen in government. You don't want to hear them. You wouldn't even believe them. The level of stupidity, the things that we save. Like we saved a couple of $1 billion on the embassy in Israel. We built it for slightly less. We built it for slightly less. First, I picked a site that we already owned. You know, that's better than paying millions for a site. But I picked one that was a better location, bigger, better. Then they were going to build the building for anywhere between $1 billion and this is like a 2-story building, right? $1 billion and $2 billion. And we built it for $500,000, a slight saver. We had an existing building that we fixed up. We used Jerusalem stone. I said, very expensive when you bring it to New York or Washington. But when you're building in Jerusalem, it's a very cheap material. I said, use Jerusalem stone. It's great stuff. And we opened it for $500,000 instead of $2 billion. That's one of many. We could tell you about them all night. But let's get back to isn't it nice when you have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter? Isn't it? You have a president. It is a nice thing. I had a couple today, though, that were so windy. It was so unbelievable windy. And you wouldn't have believed that the teleprompters were going like this. And then I finally gave up on the teleprompters, and we just talked for an hour and 20 minutes. I said, this is not possible to read those things. We're going, wah. Well, the winds were like 30, 40. The press knows they couldn't hold onto the camera. That was a positive event. They know. They never saw. It was probably minus something if you talk about wind chill. I think it was 30 degrees with a 30-mile-an-hour wind. and it was blowing right in my face. These people that set this up, it was blowing so hard. And I had a whole section on illegal immigrants pouring into our country. And I left it out because I said, if they would have had to suffer the cold weather that I was, they would never come in. They would have stayed. They would have stayed right where they came from. They had some rough, we had three, the first three were freezing. So I go from freezing, and today it was like 98 degrees. I said, how warm is it in Florida? Sir, it's about 97 degrees. This is wonderful for not catching pneumonia. Biden's cruel lockdown would be especially devastating for Florida's tourism and hospitality workers, for the services industry, and for millions of Latinos in Florida, Arizona, Nevada, and all across the country. If you want a vaccine to kill the virus, a job to support your family, and freedom to live your life, then you have no choice but to cast your vote for a person named President Trump. But I don't have to talk too much about Sleepy Joe because I spent a fortune today to give you a beautiful, look at the size of that screen that we put up. Where do you have two? You have two of them. This must be Florida. Look at it. You have two of them. Take a look. Here's a video. Roll it.
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, you're taking a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, this guy. Oh, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
There's not a single signature in the world. Why? Why, as I said, we should be in a position that everybody, and that's my wife Jill. Hey Jill, I'm Jill's husband actually.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, you sure how things had changed.
Play the radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone, make sure the kids hear words.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the you know the thing.
You were a quartermaster. You can sure and help take care of running a department store, checking for the ladies. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
You know, the rapidly rising, and with I don't know, you ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. What kind of country are you going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, we'll find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down. So I was trained and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I love kids jumping on my lap. Well, and I think it's a right for people to have handicaps there. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international depression.
Thank you. We saved so much. I don't even have to say, I could say good night, everybody. That cannot be your president. The Biden lockdown would cripple Florida. My plan will lift Florida to record highs. We've already been doing it. So joining us tonight, we have some wonderful people. You have a wonderful, great governor. Loves your state. Loves your state and loves our country. Governor Ron DeSantis, right?